What's up, guys? We have got the newest edition of the On the Court in the Booth podcast. We have got a awesome show for you guys today. We got some deep questions that started out here in the beginning. We're kind of going with a new format here on the show. We've got the discussion in the middle, and then we're going to close out with Q&A, as always, with the Q&A or Would You Rather. We flip it around every once in a while, but we got Q&A to close it out tonight. We got the deep questions in the beginning. I'm really excited to get to that. We both kind of looked over those questions. Those are some good questions, right? You excited?
Really good questions. I can't wait.
Hey, I shaved the stash for this show, man.
I didn't even
I had
notice.
I had to
I
look
didn't notice
professional,
yet.
See that right there? See that?
Gosh,
How
there
about
we
that, huh?
go.
You like that?
Gosh, I'm the one who needs a haircut.
Dude,
Jeez.
look at this crap, dude. It's getting so bad again. It's getting so long.
There we go.
I'm getting a haircut on Friday. Thank the Lord. Because, like, if you look, I got those flyaways that get on the side. Oh, it's so frustrating. But
Yeah, if
man,
anybody with hair clippers or whatever you call them, if you guys want to sponsor us, like we're open. Like we are
absolutely
open for sponsorships,
absolutely
and free products any day of the week, actually.
absolutely. Well, we're going to get to the intro, and when we come back, we've got some questions to look over that are awesome questions. I'm excited to dive deep into those with you. We had an awesome intro. We're going to have an awesome show. Let's get to it. All right, a little bit of a different look for today's show, but I'm like I said, I'm excited to get into this. So, our first question of the day, Trey, I'll let you start this off for us. What motivates you to work hard?
Yeah. This is actually a really very deep question. I think out of all the advice that you'll hear on this show, this may be the best piece of advice I could give.
Ooh,
One of the
turn
best pieces of advice.
turn those ears up. Let's
Yeah.
hear it.
Take notes. I think there are two, and it's also probably the last time I'm going to answer this question as well. And the reason is because at this time, as being kind of a redshirt player in college basketball, no one really this is the time where people aren't going to ask for your advice as much. So it's one of those things where I'm going to place it out right now. So when later people ask, they're going to come back and watch this show.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And so there's two responses. The first response is probably something you're not going to want to hear. And it's that I don't believe in motivation fully. I don't fully believe in motivation. I think that hard work is a habit. And I think if you need motivation to work hard, it means that hard work is not a habit for you yet. Like when I wake up, I just work hard. I just do it. So that's the first answer to that. Now there are things that like playing with a chip on your shoulder. You can use kind of what other people say to help drive you when you need extra motivation. I'm not saying that you don't have that factor. But I'm saying if everything that you do is because some guy on Twitter said that you weren't good enough, the reason you're doing it isn't good enough, if that makes sense. The main
Yeah.
reason you're doing that's it's not a sturdy base to grow off of. Okay, so and then the second answer, and this is the one where again, if you have your notepad, I would write this down.
Here it goes.
I thought of this a long time ago, and doing like as I've grown older, I kind of compare it to what Plato said. He's a Greek philosopher, and he talked about forms. And what he said was basically forms are everything in the world has this kind of perfect existence. And we should try to figure out, in order to see where we are, we should try to figure out how close we are to that perfect existence. So, reason I bring this up, Wyatt, you do what you do. And so a good way to, and so, obviously you have multiple, sometimes I forget all the different type of job titles that you have.
Yeah, they get kind of like the names of them sometimes are kind of fancy.
Yeah, but give me an example of one. Obviously, besides
Just
host of a podcast.
sportscaster. We'll do that, sportscaster.
Sportscaster, right? So, what would, like, just for a second, envision what the perfect version of you being a sportscaster would look like. So you've got that. You've
Right
got
here,
that.
baby.
You've got that vision, right?
It's right here. You're looking at
It's
it.
already, right? So for me, it's what is the best. We'll take basketball for example. What is the best version of me that's possible? And if I do what that person would do, and I act like that person would act, and I have the habits that that person would have, that's how you become that person.
I love that. I've
And
never
so,
thought of it that way, and I like that
yeah.
a lot.
And so I don't every day. So when somebody asks questions like, how do you work hard? Why do you work hard? Everything I do is not about working hard. Sometimes you don't, it's not about trying over, you're not always working extremely hard. You have to work. It's harder for me to figure out what the right things to do are than it is to work hard. Because all I have to do is my only job is figure out exactly what that person would do, what the best version of me would do in this situation, and that's what I do. And if you do that every single time, then that's how you get to the goals that you want to accomplish. And so personally, that's my response, is to not look at it as working hard, to not look at it as motivation. It's just do the things that the best version of yourself would do.
Absolutely. I love that answer. I think it's a great answer. And now I'm going to follow it up and just completely botch it. I mean, it's like you, you've you've opened the gap quite big here, and I am not going to fill those shoes. So here we go. Everybody ready for the wah wah section of this? Here it comes. Here it comes. It's on the way. I honestly, and I was sitting earlier, and I was trying to come up with these questions, and I wanted a question that was of deep meaning to both of us. And I think that motivation, in a sense, is something that um, motivation is something that I guess is looked at from the outside in. Maybe like other people see it and notice it. I honestly, I never thought of it the way that you said it just a second ago, and now I'm kind of second guessing what I was gonna say, and I'm trying to come up with
No, you're good. I
I
mean,
guess
say whatever,
the
because
correct
everybody has their what they do to get better.
right,
That's just what I personally, if you ask for my advice,
right.
but my advice doesn't work for everybody.
I would say what motivates me is, and it's kind of along, it's kind of in a direction of where you were headed earlier. Um, I would say what motivates me is just the fact that, like, whatever I've done in life, I've always wanted to give 100% of it. I've always wanted to be the best at it. I'm a very competitive person, like overly competitive. Even if I suck at something, like I'm super competitive. If I go golfing, I'm horrible at golfing, but I'm gonna try to find a way to make it competitive. I mean, like, I've started playing pickleball now because I just need something to be competitive. Like, I
That's
just need.
fun. Pickleball's so much fun.
Oh, it's a blast, and we got tennis courts right outside of our door here, so it's like it's perfect to do. Um, and I would just say it's a level of competition that kind of feeds into what motivates me. I just have the overwhelming feeling always of I just want to be the best at what I'm doing. Like I want to leave some kind of a legacy behind. I think that's a huge part of it. That's a huge part of it actually. Um and I think also another thing too that kind of goes with it is I just want to be a good person too. I'm a person who I'm a Christian, but I like to take all other religions into account and kind of listen to their philosophies and stuff, and interpret that in my own way. So I would just say, being a good person is so important in a sense of that. So I've always been motivated to be a good person and work hard and all that stuff. And I guess you could say that's kind of been instilled in me from being a kid, because like, my dad always said, always told me growing up. My dad's a Christian as well, but he always said, none of us really know if there's a heaven or a hell or any of that stuff because we haven't seen it, obviously. But he always said he's going to be a good person, and at the end of the day, if it isn't real, you were a good person. You know what I mean? Like, you left behind a good legacy. You left behind just being a good person. So I guess, like I said, I'm totally gonna want this because you gave a great answer. But yeah, I guess that's what motivates me. I want to be a good person. And I guess too, the last thing here. Um, I'm a big person on loyalty. Like, I'm a huge person on that. I look at people from a perspective of love and loyalty. So like, I value the most loyal people in my life the highest. So like, I've always been motivated to for those people who have been loyal to me and who have always supported me. To a part of the motivation piece for me is that I want to give back to those people too. Like, for example, my parents, for example, Nikki, the people who have supported me the most along this road, you, my brother, everybody. I think that's also a big part of it, is that I've always been motivated to, I want to give back one day to all those people who had my back whenever, no matter what the circumstances were, no matter what the situation was, they always have had my back. So I would say that's probably what motivates me, is giving back to the people who believed in me, being a good person, and just being competitive and always wanting to be the best at whatever I was doing. I would say those three things have really pushed me to I guess motivate myself in the direction I wanted to be headed. So there you
Right.
go. There is my answer on that one. The
Yeah.
next question here.
No, but before we go to the next
Yeah,
question,
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I think
Absolutely.
you had some great points. I will say that both Wyatt and I, although we're both freshmen, um, we both have kind of a clear understanding of what we want to do as a career. And I think that's kind of rare. And what happens is that we both have put so many hours, so much time and blood, sweat, and tears, money, just
Right.
everything that we've had into our careers and getting better at what we do. And so at some point it's almost hard to find like what the actual, I guess you want to say motivation or whatever it is. Like, you talked about your family and this, that, and the other, but a lot of it too is just you spent so much time and you've done it for so long that it is a habit.
Right.
Um, and I just want to bring up one more point, and it's that, I think a lot of parents bring up a plan B. Bring up whatever you're doing, have a plan B, don't put all your eggs in a basket. And I think there's a place for that, right? I really do. At the same time, I think that you're doing a disservice to yourself when you're constantly, so many people, have told me throughout the years in high school, before high school, I've always said my dream was to play in the NBA. That's always, always been my dream. And in middle school it was like, are you gonna play high school? Are you gonna play a high level at high school? And high school was like, are you even gonna make it to college? And it's always been the same thing. And it's the whole time it's been, okay, but what's your backup plan? But what's your backup plan? And I feel like if you are you will never reach your goals if you are that focused on a backup plan. You will
Yeah,
never, in my
I agree
opinion.
with that.
I
I agree
think
with
there
that
has to
because you're.
be
Go ahead.
there has to be some level of you needing to survive and you needing to have your main plan succeed in order
Right.
for you to succeed. In my
Right,
opinion.
right. Yeah, I totally see what you're saying here. It's almost like a one-way road. Like there's not really, a plan B would be a two-way road necessarily where you could always turn around and go back. I
You can
like to
always,
view
yeah,
it as a
exactly.
one-way road. Like I've already decided this was what I was going to do.
You have to go.
Um I've already
That's
right, right. It's time to hit the gas and go down the road.
and
And
when you hit that obstacle, like you can't turn. There's no other road you can go. You have to
yeah,
keep.
you just got to go through it or around it. Whatever you got to do to get through that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And then but there's some people that, and you have to look at it from you know an analytical kind of statistics point of view. I mean, I know there's whatever. So many people make it to the NBA, whatever. I think that I work harder and smart. Like people say, 0.001% of people or whatever the percentage is make it to the NBA. Well,
Right.
my
It's like less than a percent of
right,
basketball
right.
players
And
make
I
it to the NBA,
realize
right?
that, but at the same time, my rebuttal is there's no way that, you know, I know that I work harder than 99.9999, work harder and smarter and put more into it than 99.99999, whatever
Right.
percent of people. That's what I
Right.
think. So I don't
Right.
care from that perspective. Um, but at the same time, you have to have kind of I kind of lost my point. I was talking. I
You're
was so
good.
into it. I kind of lost my
Yeah,
point.
yeah. I did
Um,
that earlier too. It took me a second. You're good. You're good. You take a second to get it back. If
yeah,
you
I'm trying to figure out where I was at. I mean, yeah. I mean, you have to think of it from a kind of statistical. Okay, so here's my point. You have to think of like there's some people in my profession that are so athletic and so naturally gifted that their mindset, their how smart they are, how none of that matters, right?
right.
Like LeBron James is going to play a professional basketball. He's going to play a professional sport. And that's not saying LeBron James doesn't work hard. Yeah, he's one of the hardest workers, one of the smartest guys to have played the game.
Right.
But his raw athleticism, Zion Williamson's raw athleticism, he was going to play a professional sport. But not everybody has that, right? Not everybody
Yeah.
has that. So you have to
I
think
could see
like,
Zion being like a middle linebacker in the NFL too. That guy is just
right. And it's like, so you have
stacked.
to think like, what are the things like, so these mindsets, this advice that like are coming from the show, you have to think what's going to allow you in your situation to, whatever it takes for you personally to get to that next level, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Well, as we look at our next question, this one
18 minutes in.
is yeah, I love it. I told you, man, this intro is gonna be like the longest section of the show. I like this though. Um, this next one's a big one. Um, and this could go in so many different ways. So I'll just drop it here. Um, who is your hero?
Who is my hero? Um, so you think it's a big one? I don't think this is a very big one. Um,
Really?
yeah, I don't. I didn't have
It's
a
a big one
hero.
for me.
I had role models growing up. I think my mom was a role model. For obvious reasons. I mean, worked three jobs, single parent, like, raised me, did all the, I mean, we could have an entire podcast dedicated to my mom and what she's done for my success and my well-being as not only a basketball player, but as a human and like,
Right.
and my family and all that stuff. And we go on and on and on about that, that kind of thing. But I don't have a hero. I don't have a hero. Um, there's no one that I looked up to. And I always tell a story of like when I was younger, I watched Space Jam every weekend. I didn't care about college basketball. I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't care about college. I didn't care about high school basketball. I cared about one person, and that was Michael Jordan when I was
Love it.
at a young age because I didn't want to be anybody else. Like that was the one person I was in competition with. I didn't care. I don't care if you're in college. I don't care how good. I didn't care about any of that. I wanted to be the best. And so I thought that was the one person that, especially at that age. This is before we could talk about the Jordan LeBron debate and
Oh yeah, we'll
yeah,
talk about that at some point
yeah,
on this show.
yeah,
We
yeah,
have to.
yeah. This, that, and the
I
other.
won't say what side of the argument we're on, but we have to get somebody on this show who disagrees with us. I mean, it
Yeah,
can't just be me and you going, "Oh yeah, I agree, I agree, I agree, I agree."
right, right,
We
right.
got to get somebody who's opposition to us. And like I said,
Yes, yeah,
I won't say who our goat is. I won't spoil it. We'll have that conversation another day, 100%.
yeah.
But
Hopefully, we already haven't spoiled. We might have already spoiled it. I don't know.
there's a very good possibility we
There's
spoiled
a
it.
very
There
good
is a
possibility.
huge chance that it's already been like put out there somewhere. I would say
Yeah,
this podcast is probably how it got out too.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Definitely how it got out.
Um, but yeah, I didn't have, and I wouldn't even say Jordan was my hero because I wanted to be, like I said, I wanted to be better than him. I was looking at his flaws and his, you know, his downplayings, and I was thinking, no, I would never do that. Like I want to be better than him. So I didn't have a hero when it comes to really anything. That's a really boring answer, but I don't, I didn't have one. So
See, I like what you said there with instead of having heroes, you had role models. I'm kind of in the same boat there, but I will just say if I and this is like I was writing this question up earlier, trying to figure out what I was going to answer this question, and honestly, I don't know. Like, there's genuinely so many people that I could name out here. We we had such different, like, how do I explain it? We had such different upbringings, but at the same time they were very similar. Like, I know that sounds so like, I don't know, like contradicting itself,
yeah,
but it's true. Like, honestly, I think, you had a lot of people who were pushing you and all that stuff. Um and I did as well. I would just say if I had to say a hero, oh man, because I don't want to just give it to one person because I feel like there's like five people who deserve it.
yeah. There are, and you take things. This is just how we have a not to bring us back to basketball, but we have a just a program on our computer that once you're a college athlete, at least Purdue athletes get this. It's called Synergy, and it has film from pretty much every game. I'm talking about every NBA. So we get every NBA game for free, basically. So we get film from every game, NBA game, college game, some high school
Jesus.
AAU
You want to
games.
send me your login to that so I
Yeah,
could
yeah,
possibly watch some basketball?
yeah. EuroLeague games, like
Really?
literally
You get
everything.
like
And I'm talking
EuroLeague?
about yeah, and I'm talking about like the percentage somebody gets it when they're in the mid post and they take one dribble to the right and they, fade away over the right shoulder. They probably have only shot two of those shots in their 20-year career and you get the percentage on that. Like, you
I
know what I
think
mean?
I think you've told me about this before. This
Yes,
like
I mean
this synergy thing.
you get, percentages on everything. And so when you look
That is
at
wild.
I know. And so when you go to like I take things from everybody's game. That's why I don't have a role model when it comes to basketball. People say, what player you want to be like? I think comparison, I'm the most like Carmelo Anthony as far as how I play. But I didn't look at Carmelo like I look at Carmelo now more because I just look at, there's some similarities as far as build and play style. And there's a lot of things I like about his game. But I don't look at like, he's not the only person I look at. I look at Steph, of course. I know we talk about him all the time on this podcast.
Oh, there we go. Had to
But
get that
yeah,
shameless
you
plug
had
in
to
there
get
of
the
Steph.
Steph in.
We had to
You
just
had to
plug it in there
just
at
throw it
least
in.
once.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
rundown right here, I'm looking at it. It does not say Steph Curry on it. It does
Nope,
not.
did
But
not have
we had to throw him in
it.
there.
Had to
We
throw him
had
in
to.
there.
If you
Um,
weren't gonna do it, I was. One of us
exactly,
was gonna do it. One of
exactly.
us was.
Um, but really, like any NBA basketball player, any basketball player, I have I had a friend. When I was a senior in high school. He was a freshman on our team, and he had the best shot fake I've ever seen in my life. Best shot fake. I'm talking about. It's a freshman player. He played maybe a little bit of JV. And I would ask him
Who
every
was
single
it?
day. Huh?
Was it Kyle?
No, it was. I don't. See, it's hard for me to. I don't want to say his name because I didn't ask if I could say his name on the podcast. But anyways, I think he's actually doing really well now. I think he's playing varsity, to be honest. But best shot fake I've ever seen. I'm talking about like he would shot fake and like two guys would fly at him every game, every single game, at least twice. He would shot fake, and it was just so slow and just methodical, and it was perfect. I loved it. But like I would ask him every single day how he did that shot fake. Every single day. So it doesn't matter who you are. Like you could be it could be my brother Jalen in the backyard. Like I'm going to ask him if I can get better with that piece of advice. I'm going to ask. And it's the same thing.
Does Jalen have any basketball advice that he's better than you on? Is there anything?
I think the number one thing that Jalen has that I don't have that helps him is that he doesn't care. He doesn't care as much as I do. And so the fact that he doesn't care, like he'll just do whatever on the basketball court and be fine with it.
Oh man, I love that.
He has that factor of not caring.
Oh, dude, we were at where were we at? I think we were at Seymour for semi-state last year. You guys played. Was it who was it? Who'd you guys play for semi-state? Why am I forgetting? It was
in semi-state.
Yeah, it was a team with the white jerseys. You all played them at Seymour.
The team with the white jerseys. That narrows it down.
That really narrows it down, right? Right, Mr. Sportscaster here is great with who's great with names. Is just really butchering this. But anyways, it was that game.
Garin County, maybe? Was it Garin?
I think so. Garin Catholic. That's what it was. Garin Catholic. That's exactly. Yes. You guys were playing them, and you guys had just won, and you were cutting down the nets. And like your entire family, like me, Nikki's brother Bryce, and Kevin, and like his family were all there. And I see Jalen just walking around all over the place, and he's got this Chewbacca mask on, and it was just so awesome. It was so cool. Perfect. I love that kid, man. He's hilarious.
He's awesome.
I was like, "Hey, Jalen, what's up, man?" He goes, "Sup," and passed me.
So I'm telling you, sophomore year, I'm in the state finals game sophomore year, and Jalen, or maybe it wasn't state. I don't know. I may be boxing stuff, but I have been in big games, like stadium packed. My mom screaming at the refs, my family screaming, like just a heat packed environment, right? And Jalen's on the sideline, headphones in, playing on his iPad or his what's it called?
Yes,
one of his gaming
the tablet. Yeah. Dude, I love that kid. He's hilarious.
Nintendo Switch, that's awesome. What it is.
The Switch, yes.
I would not be surprised if in the state finals there's a picture of him on his Nintendo Switch. I would not be surprised at all. He doesn't care.
You see you all focused, like a picture of you at the free throw line, you're ready to take it. You see it in the background, your mom yelling, and he's just down there playing the game.
He's on it. Yes. It's like, Jalen, can you not play that after the game's over? Like, biggest game of my career to this point. Like, everybody's so excited, not Jalen.
Oh, he's the best, man. He's awesome.
Yeah, and you'll know that's actually a pretty common call. This is just going way off our rundown.
We are. We're running way around.
Yeah. But a lot of my friends, you'd be surprised, a lot of my friends, Zach Milton, always tell this story, and I didn't ask him, but he can get over it. Yeah. He was the only person who didn't ask where I was going to go to college. So I had everybody in Indiana was asking where I was going to. I had so many DMs, which I don't do Instagram. So like they just wasted their time. I'm just trying to think of the amount of hours that were spent DMing me and me not responding because I don't have Instagram. Like it's just it was really a sad look there. But then people calling me and asking my coaches and he was the only person who didn't care where I went to college. And he was going to Purdue. He was coming to Purdue. And he never asked me if I was coming to Purdue. I was like,
that's awesome.
One time I asked Zach, I was like, do you, like, why don't you ever ask me, like, what college I go to? He was like, because I don't care. I'm like, gosh. He's supposed to be one of my best friends. He didn't care where I go to college.
I don't care. That's why.
Yeah, I don't care.
We do not care. Have you seen that meme?
Yeah.
We do not care.
That's awesome.
No, dude, I can even I'll back you up on this one. I remember I hosted your commitment for you, and your commitment was set to air on a Friday, and it was a Thursday, and someone I won't say what restaurant it is because I don't know if they can get in trouble for this, but I won't say who it is. But there's a restaurant in our area at home, and someone came to me, and like I said, I won't name any names, and he goes, "Hey, I need to know, uh, this restaurant is having free beer if Trey commits to IU. Should I go? Am I gonna get free beer?" Well, I'm like, first off, I can't tell you. Like, I'm not gonna, like, sorry, but I can't tell you that. So that's the first wrong. Um, and then it was just like I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, dude, they're serving free beer if he just goes to a college.
Yeah, it
Like, does
was
that ever weigh on you at all? Like, do you ever think about that? Like, how crazy that is? I mean, I know you're not a big guy into the popularity stuff like that, and the I know you're a quiet guy,
right.
but do you ever think about that stuff? Like the fact that
Oh,
somebody
I
actually
actually
had a
think about it a
wager
lot.
on beer for you? Like, think
I think
about that.
about
An
it a lot,
entire
and
restaurant.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Well,
Like
I
how
called
much
you and
time?
told you immediately when I
Yeah, yeah.
found out.
I thought it was hilarious because I was looking at like how much time people have to waste in their life. You know what I mean? Like I don't have time just to like go out to a restaurant and wait for my local high school basketball player to try to commit to the college that I went to. Like I just don't feel like I would have time in my life for that. But like you'd be surprised, a lot of people do. It's actually very
Oh,
surprising the amount of people who like don't really have that much to do in their life. Um, which is sorry, that was pretty dark, but yes, I thought it was.
go at him,
I,
Trey. Get him. Get him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but yes, I did find it comical that that people were doing that. But to go back to the point about 5 minutes ago, um,
10 minutes ago, we're
yeah,
way
at
way
least
off.
10 minutes ago,
We
yeah, yeah,
derailed a long time ago.
yeah, yeah. My one of my uncles, he is not like me at all. He's more of an extrovert. He's the life of the party, and he knows how to comically insult himself and insult other people, but do it in a way that makes them feel closer to him. It's the craziest thing. Like his way of like maneuvering around other people is something that I take. So it's not just basketball. It's every aspect of life. There's always something that you can take from other people. So that's why personally I don't have one role model or hero.
Absolutely. Well, we will get into. Do you want to take a break real quick and then come back and we'll finish the two questions, or do you just want to go at them and then we'll just do two breaks at some point?
Let's take a break.
Here we go. Here we
I
go.
need
Yeah, yeah,
my, what is
yeah,
it?
yeah.
1 minute, one
Yes,
minute
1 minute
meditation minute.
meditation. Yes.
But what
Here we
is the
go.
other? I thought we called it though. There's another phrase for it. Meditation music, or
Um,
what did I call it?
I don't remember. What was it?
I
I
don't
remember
remember.
the other
It's
one.
like a
The other one we
meditation
said
theme.
was, yeah.
What was the other one?
What was it? The other one was the one we always play before our last segment, and it's the one that's like it's like this here.
Sick.
That one, and this is the 1 minute.
Yeah, you
That's
guys
that
actually
one.
got like at least 4 seconds of free meditation right there.
Yeah, right
That
there.
should
You really
cost you.
should have. You should have been set up. You should have been ready to go. Because that was it. That was no. I'm just kidding. But we will take a 1 minute break. When we get back, we've got two awesome questions as well as we got some awesome discussion coming. We're going to talk about that overtime thriller between Purdue and Illinois, Rookie of the Year, and LaMelo Ball messing around with a fan at a Pacers game. I love it. We will be right back in 1 minute. Here we go. You ready for this? This is the music. It's the one.
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Oh man, do we lose you? Where are you at? You meditating?
Yeah, it was my 1 minute meditation.
Dude, that was awesome. Literally, all I saw whenever you came up was this right here.
Oh, for sure.
Like just
Yeah,
sideways
I was
looking.
in another world. Like the music took me to another
You were transported.
world.
I just
Yeah.
smacked my desk and knocked all this stuff down when I was going down on the ground. We're good though.
For those wondering
Oh.
what like a VR like Oculus experience was, that's what I just felt. Like I basically like transported to like another dimension and time. So
You have eyes in the back. It's like a 360. You have eyes that go in a 360. You can see everywhere.
yeah.
All right. So our last two questions on our intro that has been extended into more than our intro, but I love it. It's going great so far. What makes you laugh the most?
Wow. What makes me laugh the most? Yeah, to
I
be
got
honest,
this.
when I read the rundown, and Wyatt does most of the rundown. In fact, he does all of the rundown. By most, I mean all of it, every single time. So I just check it off like at least 3 minutes before the show.
Right.
But so I didn't get to the laughter part. I only got to the what makes you work hard. That's why my answers are so sophisticated and put together then. So now I'm just kind of rambling and trying to make sense of what I'm saying as we go along.
Right.
What makes me laugh the most? Probably, I think it's funny when people do things that like just when people aren't intelligent about simple things. I think it's hilarious. And like that's not a
Did you
very
have a bad day? Did you have a bad
yeah.
day today? I mean, you were just like,
I'm
nobody's
just
safe
laying.
today.
I'm like,
You're just like
no
haymaker
one,
after
man.
haymaker.
Yeah.
Gosh, did
No,
somebody pee in your coffee today or something?
yeah,
What's going
yeah,
on right now?
yeah. No, like, and like, I'm being honest. Like, I think it's the most. I think it's the like. For example, we talked about shoes a while back on our podcast. Like when people get free shoes, I thought that was hilarious. Like I thought it was the funniest thing. Like watching our basketball players like come out with like fancy and not fancy, but just different color shoes. I mean, to be honest, they're great shoes, fine, whatsoever. But it's the fact that we get free shoes. We literally get free shoes, and so like I think it's hilarious. I think it's oh man, that's what really gets me going. Like if you want to see me laugh, like it's hard for me to kind of like chuckle on the podcast, but like if you really want to see me like break down just crying laughter, it's when people are super passionate and super like just not smart about very basic things that you would think would be like common sense, but like
Right.
you realize it's rarely common.
Like why is this so hard for you? This is just like this is too easy. It's like
Yeah.
breathing, man. Calm down over there.
Yeah.
What makes me laugh the most? I don't know. I got two answers on this. I would say like my circle, and what I mean by that is like my people in my circle. Like I keep really like I'm friends with everybody. I'm nice to everybody, but I've always kept a circle. And what I mean by that is just a tight-knit group of like my people. You know what I mean? Like just your circle. I think everybody knows what I mean by that.
Yeah.
So my circle, obviously, they all make me laugh. Everybody there, all my friends and stuff. But me and Nikki just got Fubo TV, and we are not sponsored by Fubo TV. But Fubo TV, if you're listening, we are wide
Listen,
open.
like we are open for sponsors.
Okay,
We're not
so now that
begging for sponsors. We've got like I'm telling you, Nike, Adidas, like all the major shoe companies just begging to sponsor us, and we've turned them down, to be honest with you. But Fubo TV, if you're wanting to sponsor us, like we're we'd consider it. We may not let you, but we'd consider it.
game. Yeah, exactly. But we just got Fubo TV, and I'm a huge Office fan. I love The Office. Like I love it. It's a great show. And when Netflix took The Office off of Netflix, my heart was broken
When,
into a million
when,
different pieces. Like,
that's awesome. Is that the quote of the day?
there it is. Yeah, that's what it is. When Netflix took, yeah, that's what it is. That's her.
Hold
That's
on.
her. Here we go. Yeah, type that.
Did you break my streak
I think
when
I did. I
Netflix
think I just did.
took something off of
When
Netflix?
Netflix dropped The Office, that was the worst day of my life. That's what. Yeah, that's her,
No,
man.
it's not
That's
that.
the one.
It's the fact. Hold on. When Netflix dropped The Office off of Netflix, like what else can they drop it off of? Of course they did. It's Netflix. That's awesome. Hold on. Netflix.
Oh man.
I'm just gonna put drop it off of Netflix. That's a classic.
That's
That's
that's a
awesome.
good. That is
Wow.
a good one.
Gosh, I'm not as fast. I don't know where my keys are. My gosh. All right.
I want, I want a video of you right now, just right here, trying to figure out this thing. You're going like this so much down at the keys. Like, your facial expression was when Netflix dropped it off of Netflix.
That is a classic.
Hey, you added WW at the end. At least
Yes.
you remember to put the name titles, because I don't. I
'Cause you
don't. I just get
know.
antsy and I throw it out there. And
Yeah.
it never fails to not say TKR whenever I put it out there. Oh my lord.
Wow.
That was a
Wow.
good one. But
Quote of the day.
yes,
Okay, go ahead.
it was genuinely the worst day of my life when Netflix dropped The
My
Office.
gosh. You had
And
so many worst days of your life. When the
yeah,
Packers
yeah,
lost, when The
yeah.
Office got taken off of Netflix.
Quite a few, yeah. It's
They just all blend together,
let's
right?
just say, well, let's just fingers crossed the Packers don't lose this year, and then you know what? That'll be the best day of my life. How about that? That's what we could
Yeah.
do. The
There we go.
Packers just win out and win the Super Bowl. Like I said, not predicting anything, not calling anything, not saying nothing. Fingers crossed. Whatever we need to say, let's hope for that to work itself out. But it was a heartbreaking day. It was rough, and basically, we got Fubo TV now, and Fubo TV is weird. It's like normal cable TV, but it records the shows as it airs them, so it becomes like a Netflix kind of thing where it has the episodes. Excuse me, where it has the episodes saved. So, I get on Fubo TV the other day and I notice that The Office has been saved. And I started watching it, and it was like just like good old times. It was like whenever you haven't seen that old friend in a while and you meet back up with them and you just like connect like you did way back in the day. Yeah, I sat on that couch right there with Nikki and just cried laughing. It's
See,
hilarious.
but what you like about The Office is like what I'm saying when like it's like for example, I like when you have certain you'll find this funny. You have certain broadcasters or certain people talking about how there's gonna be this up and coming, next LeBron James, but he's in second grade. Like
Oh yeah, those are
that
my
kind
favorite
of
people.
yeah. I
It's
find
my
that
favorite stuff.
hilarious.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's like
I find that
it's like
hilarious. But it's the same thing with The Office. Like Jim's jokes on Dwight are hilarious because
can't beat it.
he puts so much effort into like practical jokes that mean nothing. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like putting a
right,
stapler in Jello,
exactly.
or like you know what I mean? Like
Wrapping his entire desk, but taking all the
yeah, like
screws
you
out of
know
it,
how
so
much
when he sat
effort
on it, it just
that put for literally nothing, just to make somebody's day just a tiny bit worse. Like I think that's
right.
hilarious every single time.
this, this whole master plan, and
Yeah,
it's all just in the end of the day. All that
yeah,
matters is Dwight is thrown
yeah.
off on his
Right.
day.
But when he put the quarters or whatever in the little phone, so he ended up hitting himself.
Oh my god! So he took it
Like
off and
it's
goes whack.
so yeah, yeah. It's so like that takes so much time. like having the habit of
Dropping those nickels in there.
always, every single
No,
day.
the best is whenever he trains him with the sound. He goes, I read in a report that humans can identify sounds and just like
It's
dogs and
monkey. Yeah,
know
yeah.
that yeah. And so he had the ding sound and he would always be like, Mint Dwight? And then Dwight goes, Man Dwight, and mocked him. And he goes, Yeah. And he takes it and he kept doing it. And eventually it goes ding dong. And Dwight just sticks his hand out like this. He's like
Yeah.
still working. He's still typing. And he goes, What are you doing, Dwight? And Dwight goes, I don't, I don't know. He goes,
I don't
My mouth.
know.
My mouth is it's so parched.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best ever. It's
It's
hilarious.
yeah.
Jim's
Stuff
pranks on
like that
Dwight never
definitely
get
gets
old.
me fun. Yeah, that kind of
You're a
dumb.
big guy into comedy, though. I don't mean to keep cutting you off, but I just remember
No,
that you're a big guy into comedy, though, like
I
stand
am.
up and stuff
I am
like
a
that.
pretty big guy in comedy, and it's just, and sometimes it's just, like I said, I forget, I forget what my other answer was. To be honest with you, there's probably some. It was some about what I say. My first thing that I thought was funny was,
Uh, Jeez, why am I forgetting now?
oh yeah, yeah,
Whenever people, yeah, yeah,
like
whenever
mess up
people like
super
mess up,
simple things.
yeah, easy things, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The other one is just like people think I have like kind of a like a dry humor or like a Seinfeld type of comedy. I haven't watched Seinfeld.
I'm not a big fan of Seinfeld. There's your hot take of the day. That's like, okay, I'm really gonna like tick off half of the population of the world when I say this.
Yeah.
I apologize in advance.
Mhm.
I've never thought Seinfeld was that funny. Like, there's some good moments I've watched with my mom and stuff and giggled here and there, but I've never thought it was as funny as everybody makes it out to be. And the other show that I thought, this one I've never laughed at and I've always thought it was stupid, and everybody's gonna hate me when I say this. Friends. I've never
I've never seen
like
Friends.
people rave over Friends and over Seinfeld, and I don't get the hype. I really don't. Seinfeld, I take it back. Seinfeld's okay. Seinfeld's got some funny moments, but it's just like Friends. I've never watched a single moment of Friends and thought, "Oh, this is hilarious." Like that's never crossed my mind
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
So have you ever thought about? I mean, we're like I said, we're going way off topic, but that's our motto here.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing stand up?
Me?
Yeah,
Me doing stand
Blake
up?
Griffin does it.
No, I
There's a
no.
ton of NBA players who are involved with that.
No, because no one thinks like the type of things that I find funny, like no one really thinks. There are some certain things, but normally it's just things that are just so stupid that I think that are hilarious. But most of like the things that I find funny, other people just don't find funny, to be honest with you. Um,
I think you should give it a try. I really do. I think it'd be funny. I believe in you on that one.
I,
Our final
I'll take
question here, huh?
I'll take it.
Nice. Our final question here before we get into discussion is, like I said, I tried to go with the deep questions to open up the show here today, and I was like, what is the perfect like just wrap it all up, seal it with a nice bow on top, and this is what I came up with. What is your ultimate goal? Like the life goal. Like what is the moment where you're like, okay, I'm satisfied. It's time to give, kind of like the saying, help the next one in line. What is your point where you're like, okay, it's time to help the next one in line? Obviously, some of us have already started helping the next one in line while still pursuing our dreams. But I'm just saying, what is the ultimate goal for you?
Yeah. So for me, I mean, there's so many different ways to take this question, and again, we could do a whole podcast on this. But the one that strikes most to me, like currently right now, is just like I've always wanted to do something in my life, and this is another reason that I'm not a big backup plan guy, is because I've always wanted to have. You can have other, things in your life that are going for you, and this, that, and the other. But I've always wanted to have one goal. I had the goal of playing basketball, signing an NBA contract, getting drafted, playing basketball in the NBA. That's been my goal forever. So that's one of those things where it's like I don't know, and I don't know if this is probably not even, the best thing to look at, but I don't know how satisfied with my life I would be if I didn't accomplish that goal. Like, to me, that's one thing that I've just spent so much time, like, every day from morning to night for, I don't know how many years I've thought this way. But on that one goal. And when I mean from morning to night, like, I'm literally talking about from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. Even if I'm doing school or other things, it's still, my mind's still focused on, what am I doing for basketball? What am I doing for basketball? Am I resting? So it's always, so that's the one goal that, like, if I accomplish that, like, I could be, you could ride off to the sunset at that point.
Right.
Like, that's there's that. But then there's, like, off of that goal, like, once you make it to the NBA, you have a platform where you can kind of be a philanthropist and, educate people. You have a platform to help so many people. And that's something that, like, I've always had the goal, like I said, to become an NBA player. And that was a selfish goal for me. Um, but the goal that I've also realized, and another piece of, I guess, I don't know if you can say motivation, chip on your shoulder, whatever, is having the fact that if I make it, or when I make it to that level, I will be able to help so many people on their path through life. Even if it's basketball, not basketball, whatever it is. Like, I will be able to, this podcast will be able to help so many people. Because we don't just talk about basketball on this podcast. We talk about so many other things. And so I will just have a lot bigger platform to help people. And that's what I'm excited about.
Absolutely. I would say ultimate goal. I've got a very simple, but yet at the same time, it's a complex answer to this. Um, I want to wake up every morning and I want to be happy and I want to talk about sports. If I'm being paid to talk about sports and I'm happy, excuse my language, but that's a damn good life to me. I'm fine with that. That sounds like exactly what I would want. I'm perfectly fine with waking up every morning and being just as long as I'm happy, and that goes for everything. That means like I want to be happy financially. I want to be happy with friends. I want to be happy in my love life. I want to be happy with my family. I want to be happy in every way I can be. Um, and if I wake up every morning and I've got a smile on my face and I've got a roof over my head and I get to go and talk about sports and get paid for it, it's like that's the dream. That's so awesome. All I've done my entire life is talk about sports. I mean, I love sports. So to get to do what I've been doing my entire life, but just get paid for it, it's not a job at that point. It's not, you know what I
Mm,
mean? It's not, you don't, it's not you waking up every day and dreading it. My grandpa always says, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And I love that. I think that's so true that, people see work as this thing like, oh gosh, 9 to 5 today, Monday through Friday, every week for the rest of my life. Like, I don't want to wake up and think that. I don't want to wake up every day and be miserable, and that's for some people. I'm not trying to, down on a 9 to 5 job or any of that stuff, because that is for some people. Some people want that, some people want that structure. That's just not for me.
yeah.
Um but I
I'll down on
couldn't
that life. If
I
you're not
can
gonna down on it, I will down on that life. If you are in, yeah, because I'm in that zone today, Wyatt. If you are working a 9 to 5 job that you don't like, you are wasting your time. You're
Yeah,
wasting
I
your
I
time.
I agree with that.
You're
I agree with that
wasting so
100%.
much time of your life. And, like, you can ride me off. Almost at 18. I'm 19, 19-year-old kid, like, whatever. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. And so I don't know, like, maybe, you have people to provide for, you have a family, and I understand all those things. What I'm saying is, if you have the opportunity to get out of a situation where from 9 to 5, you are basically just doing something you don't want to do, you have to take it. You have to take that.
Right. And
And
and I don't mean to bring this back to religion by
and
any
some people
means, but
can't.
like
Like I said, some people can't. Some people just aren't in the situation to do that. But if you can, you have to. You have to.
right. And I don't mean like I said saying I don't mean to bring this to a religion standpoint by any means. I love what Colin Cowherd said when he left ESPN and went to Fox Sports. Everybody kept on asking him what was going on with that, what happened, because that was a huge move in the sportscasting industry. Was Colin transferring from ESPN over to Fox Sports? And I love his message, and I've like tried to live my life by that ever since I've heard it. Is you know I am a Christian, but at the end of the day, and I mentioned this earlier, and we don't really know. Like maybe there is I don't know if there is a heaven or not. I haven't seen it. Maybe there is, and maybe it is this beautiful pool every day that you just sit by the pool and drink martinis and eat steak and potatoes. Maybe that is what it is. But I've always had this fear of what if it's not, and what if this is all we
That
get?
is an awesome depiction of heaven. I just want everybody to
Right,
know
right,
that was
right,
that was an amazing depiction of
right.
what
You
heaven.
like that?
But go
So
ahead.
my mindset behind it has always been, and once again, I want to mention I am a Christian. I do believe in heaven and everything. But let's just say that it doesn't exist, and this is all we've got. This is it. You get one shot at this. This is your life. Do it. I'm chasing every dream I have. I'm trying to accomplish and fighting for every goal that I've got, no matter what it is. If tomorrow I woke up and I wanted to have a pink mohawk and go play in the NBA, by God, I'm going to go out to that hoop and take 100 shots a day. Like, even more, honestly. So I've always tried to live my life by that is, you know, we don't know. Like, I have faith in it. I believe in it. I absolutely believe that, heaven is real and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I've never seen it. So, with that being said, if this is it, if this is your one chance at, I guess, consciousness, is that what you would consider life if heaven isn't real? If this is your one chance at this, why not? Why not go out on the edge of a limb? So what? If you fall, get back up, start climbing the tree again. You know, too many people in life are scared to branch out and to be in that uncomfort zone. But when you find comfort in the uncomfortable zone is really when you begin to flourish in whatever you're doing, whether if it is basketball, sportscasting, whether if it's, anything. If you build iPhones, I don't care. Whatever it is that you do every day, as long as you're doing it to your max potential and you're fully invested in all that, I could see it being a good life. So that's kind of where I stand on it.
Right,
So
right. And like you said, again, people are going to, and again, I'm not the person to talk about what other people think because most of the time, I don't care what other people think. Um, but classic Trey.
there you
Um,
go.
again, just lost my thought. This is a crazy episode right now.
This is a wild dude. We have gone
Dude, what
like
is going on?
we've
I
gone
cannot believe I
deep.
lost my
We've
thought
gone
again.
off track. We've done like
Oh
it's
yeah,
because
yeah.
our minds are racing.
Right, I know. People are going to write you off because they're like, "Wyatt, you're a freshman in college. Like, you don't have the responsibilities of an adult. You don't have people you have to take care of. You don't have this, that, and the other." And I get that, but to the same extent, like, there are people who don't like. I'm not gonna say that's an excuse, but that is an excuse. Like, it's the same thing with getting in shape, with lifting. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, when are you going to have time? When are you going to have time to chase your dreams, do what
Right.
you want? If you are saying that like your physical and emotional health, you don't have time in your life for that, like you have to lighten up your schedule. Like you just have to. There's no
Right.
way that you, in your entire day, if you do not have time to physically and emotionally work to be happy, then personally, I don't think you're living to your potential.
Sure.
But that's my two
I can
cents.
absolutely. Man, we have gone
Wow.
I don't even know how to explain it. We've gone.
This was the intro, guys.
Yeah.
This was the
This
intro.
was
We
this was
just
the
finished the
hour-long intro.
This is the hour intro. The hour intro.
Dude, oh my God. This intro was an hour long. Okay, so we're gonna
Wyatt
take a
goes,
break.
Wyatt goes, this intro may last 15 to 30 minutes. Nope. Wrongo.
Right. I was like, our first intro, our intro will be around 15, 30 minutes, doing our show prep meeting. Like, oh yeah, that's what we're looking at here. No, but hey, it has been an incredible intro. And we are gonna squeeze the rest of this into 30 minutes. So let's get to bumping
No,
on
we're
this.
not. This show is definitely going to go long. And if we're here for another 4 hours, like, it doesn't matter because no one has ever complained to us that our show's been too long. No one has ever. That's how much people love our show. Like, they come up to me and they're like, Trey, I wish your show could be 10 hours. Like, I wish I could just nonstop be listening to your show. I'm like, all right, I'll just keep pumping. We'll just keep on pumping out content.
Oh man,
you guys want.
we'll put out 5 episodes a week now. That's what we'll do. 5
Yeah,
2-hour episodes a week, 10 hours. Oh my gosh. But we've got all kinds of awesome stuff coming up. We're going to talk about that Purdue-Illinois game. You were at that. That was a great game. I watched that, and that was so fun to watch. As well as we're going to talk about some Rookie of the Year stuff, LaMelo Ball messing with a fan. We got some Q&A as well to close it off. So when we come back from the break,
it'll be
our
lighter.
1 minute break. Huh?
Yeah, it's our 1 minute break. This portion of our of the Encore in the Booth podcast will be a little bit lighter and more fun, if that's what you're looking forward to.
Right.
Than what previously we've been doing. But
absolutely.
Don't leave.
Don't leave.
More to come.
59 seconds, 1 minute, however you want to say it. We will be back right after this.
What is up, guys?
Is that not the stupidest intro ever become?
Classic. Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Dude, I was struggling, so I was trying to do this, but this pen keeps on falling. So I had to, with 5 seconds left of the break, I had to throw this thing over and grab another pencil so I could do that.
Dude, it is our jobs are tough, man. I mean,
we're struggling.
Just, not everybody can do this. We're built different.
Nobody can handle.
Man.
Oh,
don't worry, I've had my COVID shot and the booster. So
you've had all 3, right?
I've had all 3.
All 3, nice. Your entire team has though, right? I saw a post.
Huh?
Your entire team's had all 3 though, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. I thought Purdue posted that about a month ago. It said something like the entire team has got their booster shot and stuff. Like I said, we're sticking away from politics, whatever everybody's views are on that. We'll just stay away from that. But we had a great game the other day. All right. I don't know why I said we. You guys had a great game the other day. I mean, absolute nail biter, down to the wire. Everything you would want in a good college basketball game, it was there. So, I will ask you, sir, between Illinois and Purdue, that game, you got to see it courtside in person. What did you see from that game?
Yeah, I've actually had this question a lot. Like, how did we win the game? Um, and it's pretty simple. We scored more points than the other team did. It's
I
actually
love
very
it.
simple. Um,
See,
no, I
you could do
mean,
stand-up comedy. Just do that right there.
yeah.
Hey, my
Um,
name's Trey. I'm a basketball player, and somebody asked me once how our team did so good, and I just said we scored more points than everybody else. There you go. That's your
exactly,
first bit. I've already figured it out for you. You're good now.
exactly. Um, and this is we're getting like philosophical today, but
Philosophical. That's a word. Let's
that's a
go.
word.
Let's go.
I know. I just have my dictionary. It's actually right here. I'm just like flipping pages and trying to
Yep.
figure out how I can incorporate that word. That's what Shaq did. He figured out one word when his LSU coach was on his home visit, so he could try to impress the coach. Quick story for you guys. Um, what was the question again?
Now that I have lost it, basically the
How did we
Purdue
win?
Illinois
How did it
game.
go?
What? No, just like what? I wouldn't say how
Oh
did you guys
yeah,
win. I was asking like what did you see? You were sitting courtside. What did?
yeah.
How was the
Well,
game? What did you see?
yeah. I think that winning. I think first off we played better. But winning takes care of a lot of things. Winning takes care of a lot of things. And again, I don't know if we discussed this on the podcast, but like to me, if if you have a last second shot and you have two identical games and you have a last second shot in one and you hit it to win the game, and you have a last second shot in the other one and you miss and you lose the game, like you are a silly person if and you played the same both games. You are a silly person if you are going to treat these two games a lot or differently. You're silly to me. But people don't realize that. People think that like if you lose a game by 2 points, because we're so highly rated, we lose a game by 2 points. It's the end of the world. Purdue sucks. They can't play defense. This, that, and the other. And it's like, no, the other team scored two more points than us. There are things that we need to do. We won the Illinois game, but there's still things that we need to do to improve to get better. We won the first games that we played by, 20 points, right? We weren't better. We're better now than we were then. You know what I mean? When we lost to
Yep.
Wisconsin, we were better Wisconsin than we were at the beginning of the year. But people don't look at it like that,
Right.
right? People just see wins and losses, and it's like whatever. Again, hard to argue with those people. That's one of those comical things that like it's hard for me to be in the same room with those type of people. Um,
Right.
but that game, it was really fun, especially when you're on the sidelines and you go to another Big Ten opponent's place, and you get to go. Like I said, you get front row seats to watch the people that you work with every single day and compete. And it was fun. I mean, it was a fun game. What can I say? Um, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, we can again sit here forever and talk about the X's and O's of the games and what we tried to do. And Illinois is a good team. Purdue's a good team.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah,
go ahead and just tell everybody here that's listening Matt Painter's entire game plan for that game and what he's
yeah,
looking at going forward?
exactly, exactly.
Can you just steal Coach Painter's playbook and just like show it to everybody? Is there a way you could do that? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
right? You
Um,
think he'd be
I just,
happy about that? You know?
yeah, I honestly don't think Coach Paint cares. Like, to be honest, like we have so many plays. I mean, we have over 200 and something plays, and so if we
Wow, over
go,
200, really?
yeah, because we have, it's hard for me again, hard for me to explain on a
I was about to say
the
careful. Don't explain anything too much.
well, we have actions, and so what happens is we have definitions for actions, and when you put combinations of actions together, it creates a play. Whereas some
Gotcha.
people they have a play called marker. That's just I just saw a marker over there, but they have a play called marker, and they go to a set spot and run certain things. Whereas we have actions, and so when you have five different actions, you have so many different combinations of those five that you can put together. I mean, way more than five, obviously, but you have so many different combinations of actions that you can put together that you're going to have a long play, you know, you're going to have a lot of plays. So,
Yeah.
Really it doesn't matter as much. Like if somebody knows their plays, you can't teach, it's hard enough for our players to know every single play that we have, let alone somebody in 1 week figure out our entire playbook. Like it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But with that said, I mean, I think we, as far as the game went, we improved a lot going up to that game. I think we were focused. We did all the little intangible things that we needed to do, and we won the game. I mean, what what can you say?
Sure.
It was a fun experience, and tomorrow we have. I say tomorrow. What time is it? It's 11:35. Can't say that for too long, but we play Indiana at home. So
Big game. See,
yeah,
that's
I
what
will
like
be.
I was putting together the rundown tonight, and I knew that the big game obviously is tomorrow. I wanted to throw something into it, but at the same time, it's like we're at such an odd place because our schedules are so busy. We have to pre-record this show. So here we are on Wednesday night recording this. You know, I didn't we don't know, what happens tomorrow or anything like that. So I didn't want to throw anything in the rundown or anything like that. So I pretty much just, I guess you could say, avoided the whole situation because I don't want to be like, oh Trey, what's your prediction of the IU and Purdue game,
Well,
and not
I
saying you
will.
guys.
I'm going to predict that Purdue's going to win. I mean, if you're on a basketball, if you're with a basketball team and you
Right.
predict their team's going to win, that's kind
Right,
of
and then I'm not saying under any circumstances right now that I think you guys are going to lose or saying anything about the outcome. But let's say IU does win tomorrow. This airs on Friday, and everybody's like, "Oh, Trey was out here talking about how Purdue was going to kill IU." I mean, it just I
yeah.
didn't want to make I didn't want to put anybody in odd situations. So if anybody
You
was
know,
wondering why we didn't,
listen, you know how people take it. I predict Purdue's going to win, and all of a sudden, Trey Kaufman Ren's talking trash to the IU fan base, calling them names.
oh,
Like that's the headline. So,
exactly picking on
um,
them.
yeah. But no, I mean, I actually won't be at that game. I have school, so
Really?
yeah, week games you don't get to go if you're redshirted. So I won't be there.
What?
Yeah.
You get to be in class during the game?
I mean, I just have school tomorrow, and so like Purdue's already almost said in Indiana, but they're already down. Like they're already at their hotel or whatever. Like they're not at the campus right now.
Oh,
So,
they're already in blue. Well, they have to. Never mind. That makes total sense. They have
right.
to be.
Yeah.
Are you in class tomorrow during the game though? Like, are you going to be able to watch it and stuff?
No.
Okay, that's good.
I think it's
I
at
was
like
very
6.
sad. Oh, I
That's
guess it is a late game.
Yeah, I think it's a late game. That's another thing. Like, I'm one of those people like that. I like if we played. I've always been like this. If we play tomorrow, I don't know what time the game is. I just take it one step at a time.
I love it,
I'm
man.
gonna write it down. I'm gonna schedule it, but then I'm gonna forget about it. That's why you write it down and schedule it, so you don't have to remember it. So
That's a good point. Well, moving on now. Speaking of Indiana and basketball, LaMelo Ball was messing around with a fan at the Pacers game this like about a week or not a week, about a couple days ago, and it was hilarious. We don't. So the video starts, and you don't really know what they're arguing about, but it says something with the fan is like the fan's like, "Oh, it's true," and then LaMelo's like, "No, it's not," and they keep on like arguing back and forth for a couple minutes. I'll play the audio from it. Here we go. See if we can. I don't know if this will pick this up.
What was that? Hey, it tells the truth. It's true, bud. True. I'm not giving up. True.
Could you hear it very well? I'm not sure if you could hear it or not.
yeah, I mean, I know what happened, so I can kind of fill in the missing pieces. But yeah, I mean, yeah, guys, go watch that. It's just
It's hilarious.
yeah. Why really likes it.
I think it's so funny.
Yeah, well, it's just I think it's really cool that like they're not taking it too seriously, guys. Basketball is a game. It's a game. right? We are in
Right.
the entertainment business. If you are taking, I take back, and I say all this right after we just spent an hour talking about how I don't feel complete as a whole if I don't become, an NBA player. But at the same time, you do have to realize that basketball is like it is a game. Like have fun with it.
It is a game. That's
So
true.
there's certain, especially when you're a player, you think it's everything has to be so serious. And that's something that I'm working on. That's why, I look up to my little brother and how much he doesn't care.
Right.
That's something that he would do.
Right.
But yeah, like I admire that. The fact that he can play basketball, but he can dissociate himself for that 3 seconds and talk to a fan. And he probably made that fan's day, and he's making a lot of people's day on social media, I'm assuming, um, by that interaction with the fan. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, as we look ahead now, we're ready to get into our Q&A. And I got some great questions here that have been sent in. The first one, and I apologize for whoever this was. I completely forgot down to write the names on this. So I completely apologize to anybody who asked these questions. Please go and comment your name below so you get your credit, and I will give you a shout out on the
Yeah.
next episode. But the
Yeah.
first question is, what are your feelings going into March? So I guess they're saying going into the tournament.
My gosh, what are my feelings going into March? Like just gratitude, happiness. I don't know. What are my, what are my other feelings going into March? Being
Excitement.
excitement, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
Hopeful, faithful,
Hopeful.
yeah,
Whoa.
faithful.
Whoa. Pump the
Dude,
brakes now. We're getting a little
yeah,
too fancy on this
yeah.
one.
Too fancy. That's not in your dictionary, Wyatt.
That's no, it's not. No, I got
Yeah,
a Webster's dictionary when I was in third grade, and I haven't opened
that
it.
is
So
not in there. The feelings are the same. Our goals were to get ready for March at the beginning of the year. That's what everybody wanted to do. And that's not, I mean, obviously our goal is to win a Big Ten championship. Our goal is to also win a national championship. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and lie and sugarcoat it. I mean, I think that's what the team has been their kind of their main focus is, and it's always been. So I think we're still kind of in that, and we have enough talent. We just have to kind of execute and do our jobs to the highest of our ability. It's really that simple, guys. I mean, it's really not a puzzle. You don't have to change it every time. It's basketball. If you go in the same way, go in every game the same way, and you don't have to have, because when you go into a
are the
game,
preparations the same when you go into every single game?
so
I mean,
no from
obviously in the film room, obviously it's not because it's a different team. But I'm just saying, like, as a whole, just give me a percentage out of 100. How big of a difference is there between each game preparation wise?
yeah. I think Coach Paint has this, he puts things on the board. And this is what he told us after a loss to Wisconsin is he divides it up into 3 sections. And the first is offense, the third is defense. And in the middle, it just says play hard. That's what he always writes up there. And he says that, like, in this second section, if you play hard, then all of the other tactical things, they matter, right? They matter. All this film work, all the hours that we spent practicing, they matter. If you don't play hard, none of it matters. You'll lose. And I think that's so true, because you have to go into the game with the same mindset but different tactics on how you're going to approach it. And it's kind of hard to explain if you're not a basketball player, but like, I go into the game personally and I think attack. That's what I think. That's just the same thing I always repeat to myself: attack, 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 attack. I have a wristband on. It says attack, literally. And
Right now?
yeah, right now. Let's see if I can pull it out. Right here. Literally, it
Let's
says attack
go.
on both
Attack.
sides.
Is that like isn't that Under Armour thing? Is that an Under Armour bracelet?
No, I actually made this one. This is a custom made wristband.
Whoa.
Yeah, I
Are we
ordered.
dropping some merch for the on the court in the booth?
Uh-oh.
Is that going to
On
be
the
one of
court,
them?
in the court. Yeah.
A wristband that says
All
that?
of a sudden, I
Is
have
it
like 8
attack?
on the court in the booth wristbands the next episode. Like literally 8. Like my whole arm's gonna be filled up.
Gee, they're all in different colors too. Oh my gosh.
All different colors, just rainbow.
Got the Roy G. Biv across your arm.
Roy, exactly. So yeah, you always have to go into every game with a certain whatever makes you play, whatever makes you tick, whatever, you know. For me, it's important to have that same attack mindset whenever I play. Because like he said, if you don't play hard, him it's play hard, me it's attack. If I don't do that, then it doesn't matter. Like I'm not gonna play good. Like I'm not gonna help the team win if I don't do that first. And so you have to go into the game with a clear mind. You have to go into the game with playing hard. You have to go into the game. So there's certain things you have to go into every game with. That being said, there are certain tactical games. We're going to prepare for Illinois different than, or we're going to we prepared for Indiana different than we prepared for Illinois. We play for Illinois different than we prepared for Wisconsin. So every game there's going to be different based on personnel, tactics, what we're trying to work on during the game, what this, that, and the other. But like Coach Payne said, none of it matters if you don't play hard. So that's kind of the answer to that.
I like that. Well, our next question here on Q&A is if you could be someone else for a day, who would you be?
I would be Jesus. I would be Jesus.
Really? Like, why?
Yeah, that would be awesome. I don't know, man. I mean, who would I?
I mean, it would be awesome. I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just like I did not expect you to pull out the old JC on this one. I was not expecting the Lord and Savior on this one. That's not the answer.
The Lord and Savior. That's right.
That's not the answer I was expecting you to pump
out.
That could have been another quote of the
day. Why is dropping him? I was not expecting the Lord and Savior on this one. Wow, that's another quote of the day. Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So if you could be so why would you be Jesus for a day?
I really don't. Who wouldn't want to be Jesus for a day?
That's true.
I mean, dude can literally walk on water. Like, what else do you want from him?
Yeah. Fair point.
I don't. For a day, I wouldn't want to be a person. I don't want to be like a dog or something. I'd want to, because like I don't want to be I don't want to be I don't want to be a Bill Gates and Elon Musk. Like those people are, they think the entire day. I'm already like that, right? I'm already a thinker.
I don't need any help. I need a mental vacation.
Yeah, I don't need any help. Like you know how happy dogs are? You just get to eat all day, sleep, nap, and relax, and just be there and be loved and cared for.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I feel, of course, there's dogs out there who aren't loved and cared for, and that's just an awful situation. You see them all the time on like the TV commercials where they're like, give like, oh God, I'm laughing at this. Give 20 cents to your nearest, whatever then they show all the puppy pictures and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'd love to be to be a dog for one day, to be a cared for and loved dog. Just sleep and relax and eat. Like that'd be awesome.
Jesus Christ.
that'd be my answer. What about you?
If I could be anybody for a day, I'd be.
This is a tough one for you.
I'd be Aaron Rodgers, probably.
Oh my God.
That's so dope, dude.
Oh my God.
Get to be the Green Bay Packers quarterback for a day. You know how tough that would be?
We're going to have Aaron Rodgers on this show. I will make sure Aaron Rodgers is on this show.
I hope he comes on this show.
My God.
I want nothing more in my life, honestly, than that.
We have the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan ever. The ultimate cheesehead, Wyatt Williams, in the flesh.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Rodgers wants to be you, Wyatt.
Oh shoot. knock this off. I'm trying to grab some, but I'm.
Wow.
You said cheese. You said cheesehead, so I brought out the cheesehead sombrero.
The cheesehead sombrero.
That's her.
Despicable Me, where they like rip the chip off. It's the block hat or whatever. Yeah, classic.
That's such a good idea, though, if you think about it. Like a guac
That's a
hat.
horrible idea. That's horrible.
It's a whole what? No, you just like walk around like, oh, I'm kind of hungry.
You know how much guac that is? That's like
That's a lot of guac.
dude, it's like 30 avocados, bro. Just
Dude,
stacked around your head.
That is, and
It's
like
a
I feel like
horrible
dude,
idea.
that would get
That's
so heavy
literally
on
the
your neck.
worst.
You'd be like just sitting there, and you're like, whenever you're listening to somebody talk, you'd have to like rest your neck to just lean it against
That's
your
the
shoulder.
worst idea ever. I already hate the what's it called when you put like it's like a baked potato and you have like soup in it or whatever? Is that a thing? Or okay, fine.
Not that I know of, a baked potato and you
know.
put soup in it.
Yeah, okay.
You talking about the bread bowls?
Yeah, maybe a
You
bread
put
bowl.
soup in bread?
Yeah. Bread bowls. That's right. Bread bowls.
Do you not
That's
like
a
bread
horrible
bowls?
idea. That's a terrible idea. You're eating what's holding it. That's a horrible idea. Just eat the food and then eat
No,
the bread.
you eat the soup, and then the soup is soaked into the bread, so you eat the bread. Do you like
No.
Panera?
Not if they have bread bowls. Not anymore.
Do you like chicken noodle soup?
Chicken noodle soup's fine. It's
What's
like
your favorite? Like, what's your favorite
chicken
soup?
noodle soup is the most. I'm starting to yell. That's how like into this conversation I am.
Fired up on soup.
No kidding. So chicken noodle soup has to be the most generic thing ever across anything.
It's so good though.
Like if you don't like chicken noodle soup, that's like saying you don't like grass.
Hold for a second.
Wow. Wyatt Williams has left the set. The cheesehead himself has left the set. Where is he going?
I'm coming.
Cheesehead Nation, here he comes.
This is how much I love chicken noodle soup. My dad freezes blocks of it and
Oh my
sends it to me in the mail so I can cook it. It's in the freezer, dude. These are so good. It's like a pillow of love.
Oh my gosh, that's the hardest rock pillow
Dude,
ever.
it is like.
Oh my
Do you hear-
gosh. Listen,
hear that in the
my
mic? Oh, I got ice on the computer.
My
Oh,
co-host
no.
of this my co-host of this podcast is a madman.
What just happened? Why is the background changing?
Oh my gosh.
I broke this podcast.
Dude, the background's so mad that you freeze chicken noodle soup. It's out of here. It's like it's a crazy person. It
Peace.
left.
Was that the one we had? No. Was it this one? No. Which one do we have up?
I think it's
That's
that
the one. Bingo.
one. Oh my gosh. Dude, we just lost a lot of viewers from you saying that. that you freeze chicken noodle soup.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, it's the way to go though. I'm glad.
Chicken noodle
Glad I
soup's
pulled
fine.
it out.
It's whatever.
I'm gonna put it in the fridge instead of the freezer, and I'm gonna thaw it out. And that's what I'm gonna have for dinner tomorrow night.
Do it.
Chicken noodle soup. Dude, it is so like it's supposed to snow in Indiana right now, right? It is guess what today's temperature down here was. Just take a wild guess.
I don't know. 80 degrees.
It was like 80, 85, bro. It was so nice. It was so nice. Like the sun set, and I looked at our thermometer on the behind the steering wheel in the car, and it said 77, and I was like, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's a nice
So-
life.
It is. It's a nice life. Oh man. I think. Let's see. Do we have another Q&A question? We've gone so far off here. We do have a Q&A question, but I gotta play it.
I think we answered this one. To be honest. A little bit, but we can play it.
I got a good one. A couple days ago, they went in double overtime against Illinois. Illinois is like ranked 17th. Purdue is ranked number 4. My question to him is, how come conference games are just so much more harder and is the amount of preparation, because most likely they'll see them again sometime, probably in the Big Ten championship. But is the amount of preparation when you're going up against a conference team, is the standard just so much higher?
I don't know, man. It's hard for me because it's like, again, I'm redshirts. I'm not playing in the actual games, so I know that every team that we play, we prepare for. I know that. I don't know if we prepare differently than other teams. I do think that Big Ten games, there's a certain way that they're played that's different. The conference does have first off, it's the most like college enthusiastic conference. Like you have
Absolutely. The Big Ten, is that what you're saying the Big Ten is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so it's like
I
it's
agree.
just got so much tradition and so much. And so that does kind of spoil down to like it doesn't matter how good you are. Like I think that what Coach Paint was saying about like playing hard, he always says that really matters in the Big Ten. Like the team that plays the hardest will win. Talent doesn't. I mean, it matters obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
but you have to play hard to win. You just have to in the Big Ten.
Right.
But I really don't know, to be honest with you. Again, I prepare. I figure out what our team needs to do to win, and I go out there and try to do that to the best of my ability. That's how I would approach it, no matter what game that I'm playing.
Absolutely. Well, we're closing off what is now episode 8. Man, we're way in this now. And this is crazy. This is we just finished episode 8. Looks like we started like a week ago, man, with episode 1.
I know.
We're 8 in now. That's crazy.
We
Guys,
did
we
it.
appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And like I said, like genuinely, I cannot explain to you how much we appreciate you guys tuning into this, commenting, liking, just, taking the time out of your day to have us in your day. Like, I will never be able to explain to you how thankful we are for that. And yeah, Trey, any closing remarks, buddy, before we send it off?
Did we have any would you rather's? Is that in here or no?
No, I didn't bring you would you rather's today. I
No
had
would you
Q&A at the
rathers.
end instead.
Oh, you didn't do the Genie 3 Wishes one.
Did I miss one? No way.
Genie gives you 3 wishes. What are you
Oh my
wishing for?
gosh. Yeah, okay, sorry. Genie gives you 3. All right, Genie gives you 3 wishes. What are you wishing for?
Yeah.
That's tough.
All the people were so mad that we're ending the podcast early. Don't worry. I can extend it another 30 minutes if you want. Don't worry. I will.
I can drag this out. Just wait.
I can drag. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You thought.
I had someone tell me once the perfect way. So like with the Genie, obviously you can't wish for money, you can't wish for money, you can't wish for love, and you can't wish for somebody to not die. Right?
Mhm. Is that the only option? The only things you can't do?
That's the
Because
only thing you can't do.
Oh, there's definitely ways to. Go ahead.
Right. So here's my solution to this. I would wish for a magic ring that when I put it on my finger. You ready for this? This is clever. Sounds stupid in the beginning, but it'll make sense in the end. I would wish for a magic ring that I can put on my finger, and every single time that I put it on, I get to tell a story that becomes true.
That's so random. That is the most random wish
So I could just say, tomorrow I'm
It's
going to
great.
stumble upon $1 trillion, the end. And tomorrow I would stumble upon $3 trillion. And it doesn't technically break the, options of I can't wish for money and stuff like that, because technically I'm not wishing for money. I'm just doing my magic ring thing. So there you go. That's how you beat the system of a genie. If you ever come across the genie, that's how you beat the system.
Can we change the quote? I'm just doing my magic ring thing.
I'm just
That is actually the quote. Wow. That's the quote of the day, fellas. I'm just doing my magic ring thing.
Dude, can you imagine all the people that like heard us signing off and they just closed out of it and missed this entire back section of the show?
Oh my
That was
gosh.
just so good.
This is great. I changed it. The other one's no longer, it doesn't even stack up compared to what you just said. I'm just doing my magic ring thing. So for me, is wishing for unlimited wishes, is that a thing?
Well, you can't wish for more wishes. That's the thing.
Okay.
You can't wish for money, you can't wish for love, and you can't wish for more wishes. That's the three rules.
Can I wish for more genies?
Technically, I mean, I guess you could.
I don't know, man. I'd wish for I wish we could solve world hunger. That's one of them. I don't know. 3 wishes. Honestly, I'd wish for a happy life. And if I could have that, we could sign off. Another wish, I wish Aaron Rodgers could be on this podcast. So Wyatt Williams.
That makes 2 of us, brother.
That makes 2 of us. That's right. No, he actually called in the other day. I turned him down. I said that we had too many people trying to come on this podcast that
Right.
we were too busy for. 3 wishes. I don't know. Happy life. That's the only one I need.
I love it. So with that being said, that I don't think I left anything else off. Let me double check here real quick. I want to make sure, and I'm not cutting anybody short here.
Yeah. Gosh.
Okay, I think we got it all. So
We're good.
with that being said, we appreciate you guys for listening. We got the quote of the day there at the bottom, which is just awesome.
I'm just
doing my magic ring thing.
Wow. Whatever that means can
Oh
only
man,
be
I don't think you can close off a show any better than just reading that. So with that being said, Trey, any words before we send this off? We're just going to leave that there, and we're just going to send it off with that right there.
Yeah. I didn't have anything. I just thought you were going to close. You're just going to close it like that. That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome.
You got to tell me these things. I'll do it. Oh, and Trey, anything you wanted to say real quick before we close it off?
Yeah. Exactly. That would have